Alrighty, I'm up here on the Saigon Skydeck at the moment, looking down on the city of Ho Chi Minh City. Saigon Skydeck, Bitexco Financial Tower. We're on the 49th floor. So this is the building that you might have seen in some of my photos with a big helipad hanging off the side of it. We're just underneath that helipad right now. Let's go for a bit of a wander around and have a look. It's pretty hard to see off into the distance. There is a lot of smog in this city, obviously, as you'd expect in a large city in Southeast Asia. So much traffic. The reunification palace is pretty cool. I just came from there and filmed a separate video about that place. It is pretty amazing. Down there you got the Ben Tan Market. And there used to be a massive big roundabout there, but they're building a tunnel underneath the city. They're building new bridges and tunnels everywhere. A lot of work going on around the city to improve it and allow people to sort of bypass areas. It is pretty chaotic, the traffic, it's just madness. So where I am staying, where I've been staying, is the Saigon Odyssey in the backpacker type district. I'm somewhere in that general direction. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Here we go, we're looking down on the Saigon River there. The Saigon River it's their national treasure, apparently. Someone said it's their river. It starts in Vietnam and ends in Vietnam. So they're actually quite proud of that fact. Ah, okay. I saw traffic disappearing into a tunnel on this side last night, and I was just, oh, where does that come out? But I can now see the tunnel comes out over the other side of the river. Okay, so across the river there, that is called District 2, the new urban area. It is scheduled to be completed in 15 years and will be Ho Chi Minh City's equivalent to such business districts as Shanghai's Pudong area and London's Docklands. It's hard to believe that up until recent times there was nothing there when there's just so much development and everyone's jammed in on this side and they just hadn't built anything over there. So it's really only in the late 1600s that this area started to get really developed. 1859, the French attacked the citadel here and it surrendered. In 1861, the French and their Spanish allies occupied Saigon completely. So in 1945, there was an uprising in the north. So back then you had the communist north led by Ho Chi Minh, and the south was run by the French still. It was in 1954 that the nation was finally divided into two parts. America intervened and landed troops in the south of Vietnam, and so it was 1973. The United States signed the Paris Agreement and thereby committed to respect the independent sovereignty and territorial integrity of Vietnam and withdrew its troops. 2 years later that the Liberation Army entered Saigon and the President Dong Ban Minh from the south surrendered unconditionally. And in 1976, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam was established. Saigon and two suburban districts of two other nearby provinces were combined to create Ho Chi Minh City, named in honour of the late communist leader Ho Chi Minh. I filmed on that bridge last night, that was pretty cool, watching the traffic go by on there. And a little bridge over there. I filmed all those cranes. I'm not sure what they're doing in the river, but they're moving a lot of dirt around inside the river. I walked through this street down here the other day. It's a big market street, food stalls and everything. All sorts of crazy stuff being sold from those. And then over here you can just see there's just probably thousands of scooters in there. It's a big motorcycle parking area. And you just look inside and there's just thousands of small motorcycles. Check out all the bikes over there. It's just absolutely hundreds of them. I just came through the car park underneath and there's just thousands of bikes under there too. So you've got a huge big square running down there all the way up to the government building at the end there. I can't remember the name of the building, but there's a big statue of Ho Chi Minh in the middle of it. Oh man, just wandering the streets, aimlessly just exploring. I found this place. I think I found the dead centre of town. This is in stark contrast to the streets surrounding, which are just living and breathing with people everywhere, meeting and having breakfast on the sidewalk, selling their wares in makeshift stalls up and down the pavement, motorbikes, people that you've got to dodge everywhere you're walking. You've got to walk out in the road a lot of the time to get around them and take on the traffic. Yeah, crossing the road here could mean life and death. I'm not sure if I want to attempt this or not. This is pretty crazy. Yeah, I think the chances of me crossing this road are fairly slim. The traffic absolutely does not stop at all. There's no brakes whatsoever. It is safe to say that it is mental. This is an amazing piece of space in this beautiful city. I just love the living, breathing nature of this city. It never ends, it never stops. It's just going 24 hours a day. There are just people on the go, non-stop, around the clock. So much energy here, so much life, so much social interaction. So this part of town being a bit more of a business district, the streets are a bit wider, not quite as chaotic as in the parts over here where I've been staying. It doesn't seem to matter here what night of the week it is. It is Tuesday night and this place is pumping. The whole street is just alive. This is the quiet end of the street here. It's not too bad, but up in the middle of the street where all the bars and clubs and eateries are, it's just absolutely mental. I've been offered everything from foot massages, which may be foot massages with happy endings, I'm not sure, to marijuana, cocaine, magnets, tobacco, you name it. This part of Ho Chi Minh City is just nuts. Ho Chi Minh City is just an absolute maze of streets going everywhere. It's so easy to get lost if you don't know your way around. I've managed to work out my way around this little section here that I've become familiar with. We're in my hotel up there and down here to the river just through walking. I have absolutely no idea where I am or where I'm going, but I'm just wandering the streets and just trying to see where it takes me. Every corner I get to, I'm just going, oh, that way, that looks interesting. Oh, I get to the next corner. Oh, down there looks better. Let's go down that way. So I'm just all over the place, just wandering around in some random movement and exploring. It's just been the best way to find my way around. You can rent bikes here, you can jump in taxis, obviously, but walking, beating the streets, meeting the people, saying hello to them, talking with them has been amazing. I highly recommend visiting Vietnam and I highly recommend visiting Ho Chi Minh City. It's probably not a true representation of what Vietnam is all about, but it is a very important piece of the puzzle of Vietnam. Alright, time to get out of here. Going down. Thank you. Thank you, that was great.
Thank you.
And back out into the hustle and bustle, noise and heat of the city. Good little break in the air conditioning up there. Time to run back to my hotel. Get a sweat on. I had to come here. This is where the Vietnam War ended, when the North Vietnamese army crashed through these gates with a tank